Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be taking a look at Microsoft. So as always, starting off the overview, I want to look at their PE ratio. So it's currently at a 35.16, which is not the best to see starting off, as this may be an indicator of it being slightly overvalued. Secondly, I want to see if they offer any dividends, which they currently do. It's their yields at a 0.79%, which comes out to about 62 cents per share. Now, before we get into the income statement, I want to see their gross margin and return on invested capital. So right now, the gross margin is basically 69%, which is good because the lowest you want this number to be is 20%. Then with the return on invested capital, it's looking good at 30% because you want this to be at 7% and above. Moving into their income statement now, we're going to start off by looking at their revenue. So as of the most recent year, they're bringing in 168 billion, which is up roughly 72 billion from 5 years ago. So this is great to see. They've been extremely consistent with this even through 2020, which a lot of companies struggle with. Now, looking at their net income, it looks nearly as good as the revenue. The only negative thing I have to say about this is it did have a tiny dip in 2018, but ever since then, they've continued to improve on this. The last thing to look at on the income statement is the shares outstanding. So this is something you want to see decrease. The more it goes up, the less your shares are worth. As you can see, it's looking great. Overall, they managed to bring it down from 7.75 billion to 7.55 billion. Moving into their balance sheet now, we're going to take a look at their current assets. So their current asset growth has been doing good. So they brought this up to 184 billion, which is an increase of 14% from 5 years ago. Now with their current liabilities, so as of 2021, they're at 88 billion, which is great to see as they have 96 billion more current assets than current liabilities. The last one of the most important aspects to look at in any company is the free cash flow. So cash flow is important because companies that have a lot of money on hand have the advantage of being able to pay off any debt, invest into future growth, or pay dividends. So this is clearly something you need to be improved on year after year. As you can see, it's looking just as good as everything else, as they're up about 25 billion from 2017. In conclusion, Microsoft has some beautiful financials. So this is typically the part of the video where I try to give constructive criticism, but I really have nothing to say. When it comes to buying the stock, I won't personally be interested until it takes a little bit of a dip, as I personally believe it's a little overbought at the moment. And two things I want to mention before I end the video is my trading strategy is centered around finding value in a company. If I don't see consistent growth in most or all the categories I cover, then I tend to stay away. So secondly, I also want to point out that I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy speaking my opinion on stuff on YouTube, so I highly recommend doing more research before coming to the conclusion of buying or selling any stocks that I talk about. If you guys have any companies you want me to take a look at, feel free to comment them down below. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching and have a nice day.